Good morning, comic fam. This is Comics of the Voice, and I like this stuff. Stay tuned. Welcome, everybody. I'm Steve the Voice White, and this is episode 3 of Mad About Mad. I'm going to do issues number 24 up to 30. So the last two episodes, 1 and 2, I talked about the comic books, issues 1 through 23, and a little bit of history of Harvey Kurtzman, Wally Wood, Bill Elder, and all the rest of the usual gang of idiots who were involved in writing and drawing all this beautiful artwork in these books. Harvey Kurtzman wanted to do a magazine even right from the start. And the funny thing is when issue 24 came out, it was like a perfect storm. It was perfect timing. Because in 1955, The Seduction of the Innocent came out, and the comics were under attack because they were warping kids' minds, and they were making juvenile delinquents, apparently. So the comic book community came up with the Comics Code Authority to basically police themselves. But it only applied to comic books. And Mad had just switched to a magazine format. Therefore, their beautiful formula for craziness got to continue. So this is issue number 24, just a very blank basic cover. It was done by Harvey Kurtzman, and this one came out in June of 1955 to start the magazine run. They still had the same format set up inside. This one was so popular they actually did a second printing of this one. So it was amazing that it got a second print, and there's a special collector's edition of this one. It's also the very first time that Alfred E. Neuman was predominant on the cover, and the slogan "What Me Worry" was first wrote on there, and that would continue throughout the history of Mad. Issue number 25 came out in September of 1955. The center cover artwork was done by Thomas Nast, but the banner was done by Harvey Kurtzman. Now this is the first works of Al Jaffee. So Al Jaffee came on to Mad for the very first time, and that was the first issue that he did work in. Issue number 20, where are we at now? 26. This was one of the magazines that I bought when I was a kid. It was 24, 26, and 27. I found all three of these when I was foraging in Toronto with my brother one time. We would go down to Toronto and we would do our comic book crawl and hit all the major stores. Of course, we'd have to hit Sam the Record Man up Yonge Street first, and then we would hit all the comic book stores. So we had to get our records and then go get our books, and then of course hit McDonald's or someplace for food. So yeah, so this was the second time that Al Jaffee came out. The cover on this one was done by Wally Wood, and it was published in November of 1955. It's the second Al Jaffee. So even though, again, Harvey Kurtzman, he did all the borders along with Bill Elder, and the center artwork would be different. 27, now this is the actual issue that I picked up, but when I lived in my first house, unfortunately we had a water leakage in the basement, and then this was in really good shape when I got it. And I was so disappointed because it got water damage to the point where the backing board was stuck and it ripped the back cover all to hell. The staples are all rusty. It was like a near minty copy, and now it's basically just a reader destroyed copy. But luckily there was another community member that helped me out, and I got myself a better copy. Not as minty as this one was, but it's really nice. So this came out in April of 1956. The cover was by Jack Davis, and it's just phenomenal artwork. Like, there's so much detail on it. It really reminds me of what George Perez was doing with the amount of detail that he would put into his art. And then Mad also came out with these little cute cards. I've got the whole set of the cards. I got like a box of them, and I put this one in the back. I have to go grab the rest of them and start putting them in my other books too. So I really love this cover. It's just, again, very George Perez-ish. This is number 28, spring issue. This one came out in June of 1956, and it's a Wally Wood cover. Now they were doing the exact same thing inside. They were parroting, like nothing was out of bounds with these guys. Magazines, comic books, it didn't matter. They would attack anybody. This one here, number 29, is when things changed. Now in issue 28, that's when Harvey Kurtzman went to Bill Gaines and asked for more money. Actually asked for 51% controlling interest because he wanted to run Mad any way he saw fit, and Bill countered with some other offer, and Harvey said no way, and he left to go to work for Playboy magazine and another magazine they were going to do called Trump. And I think it only lasted 2 issues, and then they had no more money for it. So Al Feldstein had to take over the editing job, and he started in this one, even though Harvey Kurtzman had still done the cover. So this was a Harvey Kurtzman did the border with Bill Elder, and Wally Wood did all the little figures at the bottom of this cover. But the inside work was all done by Al Jaffe, and this is the first Don Martin in Mad was in this issue. So now from now on, Al Feldstein took over the editing for Mad. And then the big one, issue 30. This is where things changed. Our lovely mascot, Alfred E. Neuman, was now predominant on the cover. This one came out in December of 1956, and Norman Mingo did this painted cover. Now I have also a graded copy, because this one here has a detached cover. This issue, they also did a parody of Walt Disney called Dizzyland. So again, it was not out of bounds for anybody. So the cool thing about this cover too, it's a wraparound one. So you've got the forward-facing Alfred E. Neuman, and then on the back you've got the rear of his head, which I thought was hilarious. And then you got all the crowd there. So fantastic painted cover by Norman Mingo. And then from now on, Alfred E. Neuman would be prominent in pretty much every single issue. So that is issues 24 through 30. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to do from 31 to 40. I'll probably go up to 50. And then we'll see if anybody wants to see more, because I've got lots of these books. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.